Alright, how is the microphone sounding? My voice itself is not going to sound very good, but how is the microphone sounding? I don't know why, but I woke up and my voice was hoarse. I have no idea why. But this should sound better than it normally does, because it turns out I had filter settings on my microphone the whole time, and I just didn't have it on. I legit just didn't have it on. Like, I don't know why, but like I had the settings there and it just wasn't on. Ugh. Player or team tier list or both? Always player list, and then if we have time at the end, we do team tier list. Team tier lists feel less valuable than player tier lists, to be honest. But we normally do both. And stretch goal will be social media team list, but yeah. That would be the stretch goal. Oh, it's actually been too long, man. Like, the issue with having 3 splits is you now have 2 breaks in the middle of the season, right? And so it actually feels to me like we get less league overall, you know? Like, I'm not used to this huge breaks. Because there's the break between winter and spring as well, you know? Team social media. Player social media would take me way too long, and honestly, most of the players' social media is shit, right? But it has felt like, yeah, the break was way too long. The break was for sure way too long. Like, half the players don't even use social media, you know? I have, as per usual, not watched anybody else's tier lists. I am not caught up with the opinions of most other people. I'm caught up on the general narrative. Somewhat. I'm basically the only thing I've seen in terms of tier list opinions from other people is like that Reddit thread where they were flaming the team's tier list of Euphoria, and that's literally the only exposure I've had. And that one was really weird to me because of how many people were saying, 1, BDS are just shit, and 2, that vitality should be way higher. And it's like, with the vitality lesson, I figured you'd learned it by now, but apparently you guys have not learned it, which means I know where I'm going to get the hate on this tier list, because there's only 1 player on that team that's going to be rated high. I'll tell you that right now. There's only 1 player on the vitality team that I'm actually going to rate high. When it comes to BDS, I figured I would be sparring with people about the ratings of their solo laners. Now I'm less confident that that will be the case. I think my opinion on the solo laners will be decently received. But I think BDS are actually one of the best teams at the fundamental aspects of the game. Actually, I take that back. I think there are only 2 teams that are really worth watching when it comes to macro play. One is Astralis and one is BDS. Just straight up. Like, the only teams that you have value watching in Europe, if you want to learn something, you watch these guys, right? You watch these guys for 2 lane setups, right? And what I mean by 2 lane setups, for anybody who doesn't obsessively watch me, is that I mean in mid-game, they play extremely strong 4-1 setups with mid on side, and then the issue that they have is that they don't cover their flank vision. So generally the enemy is going to end up getting some kind of vision behind leader, let's be real, and that's normally going to be what breaks the setup. But if you ignore that, the way that they play 4-1 setups is the best in Europe, because the way that they transition their tempo on one side, say that the waves are like here and here, right? The way that they transfer their tempo off that into another winning setup here, relative to like Baron timing, or in the opposite regard, right? If they did the opposite kind of shift relative to Drake timing, is perfectly on time. They're so good at 2-lane setups, and you should watch them for that. And then the other team is fucking BDS, right? And then BDS, you watch for vision, right? You watch for openings on setups, right? And by openings, what we mean is like, are they just coming out of base and ramming through mid and dropping people off left and right, which is the Unicorn's way of doing things? Are they moving in river with carries taking shallow here and maybe pushing here, right? We mean that kind of thing, right? They're the best at that. Labrov, right? Labrov is a huge part of both of these. Labrov is a huge part of both of these, and I continue to believe that like Shio and Labrov are the reasons why BDS are doing so well, primarily because of these aspects of the game, right? And resets. They have the best resets in the game. Which is great, because I remember there was a point where the big thing that Nuck was bad at in the ERLs was resets, but he's not anymore. Oh. But yeah. But yeah, these are the only two teams. Like, literally, they're the only two teams. You could maybe look at, like, G2 for, like, play while ahead. But this is, like, talking about, like, the G2, like, 2-tempo play, where they just make plays on both sides at the same time, because they know that they can get a reset off of whichever off-laner they have on one side to then def the other if it all goes bad, right? But yeah. That's kind of like it, to be honest. Like, they're the only 3 teams. Like, they're the only 3 teams for the stated reasons. Well, you missed a breakdown of why these are the only 3 teams. Technically, really, only these 2 are the only teams that are worth watching in Europe based on macro. So you missed all that, Dragov. This is too complex. Where are my funny tier letters and colours? True. Well, you'll be fine, Asymmetric. Hello, I'm here to see Fnatic God tier. Am I in the good channel? I'm probably gonna rate their players higher than most. I will say that. Actually, Fnatic will be a point of contention for sure. I know, you can never fully predict these things. There's always one rating that I'm really surprised about that I'm getting flamed for. Yeah, Leader will be rated higher, for sure. And Leader got my MVP. Alright, do we want to do top to bot or bot to top? Because we normally do top to bot and then we run out of time. But I started the stream way earlier than I normally do. Alright, we'll get through this really fast, alright? Where are you all? Alright, so again, because there's always someone, we just drag everyone into B tier first, and then we arrange it until it looks good, okay? And by looks good, I mean to me, okay? To me. Until it looks good to me, alright? Oh, I wonder where you're gonna end up. Jesus, actually. Did no top laner get fired? Wait, no top laner got fired? But so many of you are awful. And by so many, I mean, we know who I mean. Wait, that's mental. All 10 are back. All 10 of them. Jesus. That's actually insane. Do we want to get, like, the really obvious one out the way? Okay, now we can assess everybody else. No matter what everyone else ends up at, that's always gonna look good to me. I feel like these two are a lock. And then for the rest, it somewhat depends. I actually have to check up something on Broken Blade on my other screen. So his pool included... do we count Cassante? Man, he is still like... Nah, actually... No, he did show 2. He did a lot of Gragas. Okay, yeah, so most of the criticisms I've had of Broken Blade that prevented him moving S tier before were to do with the fact that he pretty much forced you to play into his stat check champions, or into his dual list champions, or basically into carry champions top lane, and Ornn was the only thing he could play. But he's added Gragas, he's added Cho, he still has Ornn, he does Cassante. He is no longer just like, we either play 2 tempo lanes or we're fucking screwed, you know? So I'm actually happy to put him higher. I'm actually happy to put him higher this time. I'm actually happy to do that. So mid compared to who, by the way? Because like, this guy was good. This guy was okay. This guy was really good. This guy was really good. This guy has the exact same issue that he's always had. And this guy is monstrously overrated. I just want to say, this guy is monstrously overrated. Irrelevant ST could actually be doable. Irrelevant ST could be doable. Top is the hardest, because it's difficult to have impact as top laner right now. But I don't think Irrelevant had a single bad game. That's the thing. Oh god, it is actually a hard one. His team had bad games, that's for sure. He did get somewhat smacked around in his last series. It is an issue. But the whole team was, the whole fam was. I mean, Irrelevant had good games, but not like S tier. Like, I'm actually kind of fine with this being this way. Oscar Rinin is a difficult one to rate right now. So the thing with Oscar Rinin is, like, obviously the first week he looked like the worst player ever to play in LEC. Then they dropped him on Olaf, right? Then they dropped him on Olaf and he suddenly was really good again. And the reason that the Olaf substitution worked is that Olaf is really good in situations where the enemy thinks that all they can do is abuse top lane. Because Olaf will just stat check and 1v2 the moment Conqueror procs, and no one respects that for some weird reason. But the first week, he did stuff like, I remember there was an Ornn matchup where he described like the exact levels where he has to just, whatever he does, not fight Gwen. It was Gwen, right? It was Ornn into Gwen. And then he just, and then we're just watching him like straight fight Gwen. No, it was Camille? I can't remember. It was one of the two. But that was like, you're literally just trying at this point to be like the lowest of the list, you know? And that was like the last game of 2 really bad games. So it's really difficult to, like, because the last few weeks, he was actually pretty good. He was actually pretty good. Like, but he was absolutely awful the first week. Top is actually such a hard role. It's like, who does not lose you the game solo? Like, genuinely true. Photon never loses you the game, right? So I'm confident with him there. Evi loses you games frequently, so I'm confident with him there. Everyone else, Adam was like sprinting the finals. I will never forget that Malphite Peck Rock shit, and all the criticisms I have of Broken Blade, I still have of Adam, right? So Adam is probably here, right? Finn did better than he did before, but that's not really saying a lot. You know? Like, Finn in Champions queue and solo queue is insane. Finn in competitive will just get soloed randomly top for no good reason, right? And so will you. This guy, previously, I would just smack him like SS plus every year. Last time, I swear down, he just got fucking mega tilted. Like, last split, he was no longer like the consistent rock he was before. So it's difficult for me to just give him S again. I could potentially give him A again. Of course,
Veteran retweets
but it's very difficult for me to give him
S again. His whole EU army at me.
I don't think I put him C tier. Dopey McDopes, thank you so much for the sub. This is the hardest one by far, though. Because you're all... you're all playing such a shit role. I don't ever want to do this, because the first week was super shit, but the way he ended was actually really strong. The way he ended was actually really strong. You know? That's the problem. And I'm tempted to do this as well. Ooh, that doesn't look bad, actually. Wait, that doesn't look bad, actually. Well, actually, it kind of does, because Odo had a worse split than him. What if I do this and I just expand C tier like this? That's actually not bad. That may even be better. Koi... Koi's solo laners are fucking underrated right now. I have to say. Koi's solo laners are fucking underrated right now. But this is actually kind of difficult. Actually, this isn't bad. Wait, Photon S, these guys A, these guys B, these guys C, is not actually horrible. I think you can't be C if I'm putting these guys in C. You're clear tier above them. Do I like this, actually? This is almost... Wait, I don't see anything I horribly disagree with here. Do I like Chasey being on the same tier as Adam? Yes. Evi is worse than the guys in... Yeah, that's why he's on his own tier. Evi D, Photon S are like the only two things that I think are for sure. And then with Oscar in, and it's like... Man, you're the hardest one, Oscar. You are the hardest one. Because you ended so strongly, but you began as worse than Evi. Like, oh man. I hate this guy. Fuck! This guy feels impossible to rate. The problem is, if I feel like moving him up, then I feel like expanding, like, the whole B tier, because it feels wrong to just have you, like, solo C, you know? That feels wrong. That perfect LVP split was based on, like, 2 champions, dude. I am assuming the guys who are hardcore rooting for Oscar Renin are universally fanatic Giga fans. Or Spanish, it's true. I like Oscar Renin, to be clear. Like, I don't hate Oscar Renin. When he was in the ERLs, I supported him, and my big criticism was that Fnatic just dropped him in when he wasn't ready at all. Because the guy wasn't ready. The guy was straight up not ready for LEC. That's just a fact. He had too shallow a champ pool, right? It wasn't, like, the thing, if you're gonna have a shallow champ pool, if you're gonna have a shallow champ pool, you should be more like Adam, where your shallow champ pool is all stat checkers. Because you can jam a stat checker in top lane and leave him alone. You can leave him alone because if he gets Conqueror proc off, he 1v2s anyway, right? He'll probably win the game before jungler moves topside, and stat checkers are so ludicrously easy to learn once you've learned one, that you have like 6 champs immediately, you know? Oscar Renin isn't like that though. Oscar Renin's pool was like GP, Jace, and Gnar. And that's not conducive to having a broad pool. And if he wasn't on that kind of shit in LVP, like, it was doomed. They fixed this by throwing him on a stat checker. They fixed this by turning him into an early version of Adam. That's literally their fix. Is like, okay, we're gonna slowly evolve our Pokemon into Adam. Alright, fuck it, why not? But he's at the start of that stage. He's not at Adam level yet, right? And we've seen what happens when you take Adam off the stat checkers, so that's not actually a good idea in the long run, you know? Again, Adam taking his pet rock for a walk in the finals just runs me. Like, legit, there's at least one time a day that Malphite roam enters my head. I'm not joking. Like, every day, at least once, that Malphite roam enters my head. This guy is a Jace one trick, and I just have to say, the credit you were giving to him, again, that is credit you are essentially taking from Elyoya. Alright? Like, I'm just saying, alright, this guy got ultra highly rated when it really should have been Elyoya's. Okay? And Elyoya was legitimately getting highly rated. It's just like, people weren't making the link of what happened. Like, what happened, Mad versus BDS, is the exact same thing that happened Mad versus Rogue years before, except they abused a top gap instead of a jungle gap. Well, actually, they abused both, kind of. Elyoya is better than Shio, but Shio is actually really fucking good, right? So... Elyoya created Arm at V2? Yeah, no. Chasey is legit like Arm at V2 right now. Odo is now like the last one where I'm wondering if I just drop him here. Or if I leave him here. And you know what, Odo? I'm gonna be real. If you're out there, I've forgotten so many of your games. I've actually just forgotten. Holy shit, man. These guys got knocked out early, and everything that I'm thinking of when it comes to XL is to do with mid-jungle, jungle support somewhat, and 2v2 moments with Patrick. Those are all the things I remember of XL. And then top lane, I am fucking forgetting. So when I think of Odo, I think of these really desperation engages he keeps doing in late game. That's what I keep remembering. You know? That's the problem. Fuck it, we'll get this one out the way. Because I feel like this one is the hardest one to do by far. And it's also the least impactful in terms of... Like, this role is the least relevant one. Right? You want me to create a special E tier for Evi? Is there a bunch of Dom fans in the stream who just are like, you don't hate Evi enough? Like, legit, there's just a bunch of Dom fans in the stream who think that I just don't think Evi is bad enough. I get it. Alright. Alright. Summer Split 2023 tier list. Top lane. By far the hardest one to do. Partly because of things like I can't remember Odo's laning phase well enough. And also because having impact from top is normally only noticeable when you're solo losing the game. Actually, I'll eliminate the Odo's laning phase thing enough because that's not as relevant to talk about as like the Oscarinin bit. Oscarinin improved significantly, but the first week he was the worst player in the league. Yeah, that's more relevant to put in than the fact that I can't remember Odo's laning phases right now. Yeah, there you go. This one's gonna be the one that gets me the most flame, I would assume. But this is also the one I'm least confident about, is this one. Two people I'm least confident about on it are Oscarinin and Odoamne, right? Odoamne could legit just turn into an S tier player again, and I wouldn't be surprised. And Oscarinin, if he plays like he played in the final weeks every day, then he won't be an S tier player, just to be clear. But he could be like a B or A tier player, right? Okay. Oh. Okay, 113 commented on a post I made recently about Parus, who was actually a former teammate of this guy's, right? So I've been doing a lot of ERL watching recently, which, by the way, none of you seem to care about, but I care about it, so I'm going to keep doing it anyway. And I tweeted that Parus is, like, the best support in the ERLs, and 113 responded to me saying, oh, like, you're speaking facts for once, you know? And I really wanted to reply to him. Paris carried the shit out of you, by the way, because it's true. They played together before, and Paris did carry the shit out of him. All right, it's just true. It's just true. Okay, we have our first reject here. All salute Xerxes, the most underrated jungler of the last year. By the way, like, no cap, this is the most underrated jungler of the last year. All right. Not Razork, alright? Not that weird period where people thought Elyoya fell off, okay? But Xerxes. Because Xerxes last year was a top 3 jungler. And Xerxes this year somehow tanked all the blame. And I'm not actually sure how that happened, to be honest. That's kind of weird to me. But he managed to tank all the blame. And then when XL accidentally uploaded full voice comms, that made it quite clear that the biggest issue XL were having was that they weren't listening to Xerxes. They then decided to delete it. Which I can only assume is because they'd done too much pro-Xerxes propaganda by accident. So, shoutouts to Xerxes. I have seen some of your Giants games. Alright? I will say he's not looking as good on Giants as he did on XL. I will say he's not looking as good. But he's also, like, he's a jungler on an Attila version of Giants. Alright? And Attila, if you're out there, you know I love you. You know I'll keep saying you're one of the best team fighters in Europe, straight up. And I maintain that, alright? I also maintain that the worst possible thing you could do as a jungler is join a team with Attila on it, because you've basically guaranteed you're fired in a couple of weeks' time. And I can only imagine how horrible it is in there until you are fired. But that is a very consistent pattern on every single Attila team, is that his jungler is gone, no matter how good they are, in like a couple of weeks. I think if you just did like a turnover rate of junglers, relative to other players, Attila's jungler has the highest turnover rate by far. By far, by far, by far, by far, by far. Alright? Like, by far. Viking tamed Attila? A Viking, like, you have to be like Viking. And Viking is like Arkham Knight Batman proportions. He's like 6'4", 240 pounds of pure muscle, alright? There's no way Attila's gonna turn around and tell him he's playing the game wrong, alright? That ain't happening, okay? Xerxes is not that, alright? Xerxes is not that. So good luck, buddy, alright? Good luck. Attila is insanely good at the game, but you cannot deny his junglers, they don't last long. Viking is Broxer with no... Viking is bigger than Broxer. If you put Broxer and Viking in a ring right now, I put all my money on Viking. I put all my money on Viking, straight up. I will sponsor Viking's future League of Legends boxing career, alright? That will never happen because no one in their right minds would face Viking in a ring. No one in their right minds would do that. There's no fucking way. Alright? Okay. Oh, how are we gonna do this? 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 We could get the obvious one out the way. Oh, actually, I don't know if it is obvious. There are two obvious ones. Which is you and you. I am really tempted to upgrade Elyoya. There's another obvious one, which is you. I don't know if I put you S+, but I definitely put you minimum S, right? I'm sorry, but he was doing really well as well. And then you're up here too. Something like this is kind of obvious to me. This is really tempting to me. This is really tempting to me. Oh god. I kind of want to slam it. To be honest. I mean, it's my tier list and my opinion is like... Yike was the best jungler in Europe for a bit. And Elyoya was at least competitive with him that whole time. But then Elyoya just started like being like, I have to do everything myself. I have to do everything myself, you know? And he just did everything himself, you know? Like, but I don't even know if he meets my personal conditions for it. Ads are coming in 1 sec, by the way. Oh. Shio, I'm also tempted to just upgrade because this guy was phenomenal. Like, okay, let's keep all these guys up here for now. For now. The only thing I'm clear on is that these two guys outperform these three guys. Right? Dom, what have you done, by the way, Dom? The first thing I did on that list was drop Evi in the lowest tier, and people were complaining that he wasn't low enough. That was the first thing that, like, what have you done? Like, what have you done? That's literally the first thing I did. like, what have you done, man? Dude, he's the lowest. He's the solo lowest. Chill, okay? I agree. He's by far the worst. I agree, okay? I agree. That's why there's a whole tier between him and everyone else. Where was El Yoya on all my other ones? That's actually what I want to know right now. Where did I put him on my last one, for example? God, I need to have... Okay, why, when I type jungle, why does every other role come up? Except for... Okay, I like always rate this guy high. Alright. Wait, did Mad not make playoffs in 2022? Fuck me. Still way too close to the rest. You need more tiers? For the love of God, man. Okay, look, we're done talking about how bad Evi is. We're talking about how good junglers are. I am very clear that these two are better than these three. I'm not clear in my head right now about the positioning of these three. I am going to lock this. I'm locking El Yoya Cobra Kaito. I'm locking Yike S+. I'm locking these for sure. Now for me to be called racist, which is, you know, that's just par for the course at some point. We're smacking that guy down. What's going to be really funny? I mean, what's going to be really funny? What's going to be really funny, alright, is when I do this. That's what's going to be really funny. That's what's going to be funny, alright? When I do this shit, alright, that's what's actually going to be fucking funny, okay? Hear me out here. Wait, I need to get this. Wait, there was a triangle and I need to get this like straight in my head. So where is vitality? Here?
And of course, Veteran retweets it like
okay,
4
cool.
months later.
Got it.
Got it. So where is... So 113 got smacked by Bo, like left, right, and center, right? Like that was the demolish there. And then was it that Bo... Wait, actually, I actually know exactly how to remember this because I actually typed it to Dom when it happened. So thanks for being in the chat and reminding me, Dom. Where is this? I just have to type 113. Oh my god, 113 did it to Malwang. Yes, this is the correct order. Yes, this is the correct order. Okay, alright. So, what we would have then... Actually, I'm kind of fine with this tier like this. It's just that by this logic, you should be lower. And then leader will kill me. Which I'm fine with, to be honest. Hey 113, what's up? So here's the thing. Bo smacked this guy, and then this guy smacked this guy. So that's kind of the thing we've got going here, right? And then I think if we do this, I'm comfortable with the whole list. The issue of Razork right now is one of execution, not really of parving, so I'm never gonna drop him. I'm never gonna drop him like lower than A, right? By the way, 113, now that you're here, I can tell you what it is that I wanted to tweet at you when you tweeted at me on the Paris tweet. Paris fucking carried you, by the way. Yeah, I think this is somewhat accurate. One thing we could do is move this guy up a bit,
but I don't know. Like, Prince, I was really surprised he got... I was surprised as fuck that he got moved up, to be honest. Maybe you just need, like, a role player or something like that on XL. I don't know. I'm not in the team. But yeah. What was the score? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm somewhat fine with this. You think he's better than Malrung? I think he's better. I mean, I think he's better than Malrung. That's not the issue. So the issue we have here, Luxuria, is that he's better than Malrung, but I'm not putting him on the same tier as Bo. That's the issue. Right? And I'm not sure that he is meaningfully better than Malrung. I think he just has a way better set of shot callers on his team. That's the issue. Like, that's the problem here. Like, if I put him on this level, like, come on, man. We all saw it. Now, admittedly, we're kind of overstating it. Okay, if you want the really hot take, it's kind of hot, but it's kind of obvious. What 113 really did was just lose 1v1, and off the back of that, it was pretty much impossible for Bo not to take over the game, unless Bo had absolutely zero brain whatsoever. So really, the fact that he got Astro shit stomped over and over again was kind of done the moment the red buff contest was over. Because of the camps he skipped to do so, because of the state of the lanes when he fucking died, because of everything, it was basically impossible for Bo not to take over that game. So maybe we are... Like, honestly, I'll be real. I'll probably just get flamed for putting 113 on the same tier as Bo. But unironically, Bo smacking 113 so hard looks worse than it was. It looks worse than it was. The most egregious thing is that 113 opted into that and got so hard outplayed. But he did get really hard outplayed. I will say that. It was the biggest jungle gap in LEC history. See, that's the comment, right? But I feel like the entirety of the gap was the loss on the red buff 1v1. If 113 wins that red buff 1v1, it could be the biggest jungle gap in LEC history, but the other way around. You know that? Like, the other way around, Gladder. That's the thing. That's the thing. So, like, it feels like this would get me less flame than doing this. But maybe I just explain in the tweet and leave it at this, because I feel like this is somewhat accurate. I feel like this is somewhat accurate, you know? I would never move Bo one tier above, because I'm not delusional, Dom. Did Bo gap him in another game? No. And 113 did gap Malrung. The thing is, I also think, and here's, I don't think this is a hot take, but I also think that within Astralis, 113 has the easier time looking good this split than Malrung ever will. And I think Astralis are going to develop ahead of Vitality. So I think dropping 113 down a tier is just asking to... I mean, it's asking to be wrong. I'm going to be honest with you, it's actually asking to be wrong. Straight up, it's just asking to be wrong. I'm also not confident on like, this feels more correct to me, by the way. This is harsh. This feels more correct to me. And that's not saying Peach is better than I'm saying. That's probably more saying Malrung is actually quite a bit worse than I'm saying. But not so much worse that I should put a gap between him and everyone else, because I didn't do that for Evi. So yeah. Leader, I gave you MVP of the last split, so you're going to accept whatever fucking rating I give you and be happy with it, okay? Yeah, I gave you MVP. I made a video on it. But no one watches my videos, so no one cares.
Ugh. Alright. Alright, I'm done with this one. For the love of God. Dom just commented straight up that people... What? Did Evi sleep with a girl that Dom really likes? Or like... Or did he fuck a guy that Dom really likes? Which I could see, because Evi spends his time fucking the whole team, right? Oh, Jack Spectra. Actually, yeah, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Yes, 113 versus Bo. There's a jungle gap larger than a quasar storm, but that was basically 1v1 with the other way, then 113 can gap. Swaz Macros places him in the best position to develop. Ahead of Vitality. 113, if you fucking giga suck this split, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Cause I have committed here now. I have committed here now. I like being correct. I like being correct, okay? I like being correct, so... I'd better be right about this, because I've praised Astralis Macro way too much in the last few... months. So they better not have... Like, you watch... I've praised their macro for ages, and then it will turn out that they've just watched, like, Korean VODs for the last couple of weeks, and they just change everything entirely. Because I think if they just keep doing their current playstyle, they'll be really good. Oh, this one's going to be controversial. Oh, God. This is the one I figured would be controversial before I saw the reaction to the Euphoria list. No mid got fired, right? Wait! You did. Rip to Ruby. Where are the timestamps? This is why no one watches your videos. For the love of God, leader, man. I probably should have timestamped that video, actually. Thinking about it, I probably should have timestamped that video. Oh, God. God in heaven, help me. God in heaven, help me. First off, the real reject here is Zwairu, alright? Because Zwairu, the last few splits, has been phenomenal. I insist, sorry Jack Spectra, that Zwairu was the MVP of the finals where Heretics won everything, alright? I insist. But whatever, who cares? If you're not Korean, you don't get promoted. That's basically the meta now, alright? I fucking hate North America for losing money because now European teams think they can do whatever they want. Oh, you got in the right time, leader. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's start with the big one. Alright. Larson was the best mid laner last split. Larson was the best. Larson was the single most consistent, highest level, only actually good laner. Okay, not the only actually good laner, but the only consistently strong laner. He was good at every stage of the game. This guy wasn't putting a foot wrong. He's still somewhat scared of leader, but fair enough.
he wasn't getting fisted this time, which is massive character development if you've watched the history of Larson versus Leader, okay? That's pretty big character development right there, alright? Compare stats. Compare stats! Stats! Leader! I have respect for you right now, Leader, okay? Don't do this, Leader, alright? You know that's bullshit. You know that's bullshit, Leader. You fucking know that's bullshit. Don't do this. Don't do that, Leader. Okay, don't do it, alright? You're playing with a jungler who acknowledges lanes exist, even when he can't just grab a free kill, okay? Alright? Larson is playing with fucking Malrung. And before that, he was playing with fucking Inspired. Inspired will ignore every lane for camps, and Malrung will ignore every lane unless he can pick up a free fucking kill that the laner has to set up himself, alright? This guy's never played with a human jungler, okay? Don't fucking do that, Leader, alright? The decisions he makes in lane are fucking good, okay? Just don't fucking do that, man. I'll fucking drop you're getting highest, alright? You're getting fucking higher, okay? But I will fucking drop you in a second, Leader, if you mention stats again. Holy shit. Holy shit. Wait, why haven't I given... I swear I gave 113 VIP last time he was here. Dude, I'm comparing him to Malrung, okay? He already knows he's better than Malrung. Just for the love of God, man. I'm pretty sure... 113, just so you don't get too cocky, I'm very sure your Leader's dog, alright? But still, Leader's has a jungler, alright? Very different, okay? Very different. Alright. Alright. This guy is the best. There are no Cobra Kites right now. This guy fell off. This guy fell off. This guy fell off. And it pisses me off. Because before last split, he was the safest bet when it came to playoffs. Like, he would just, at playoffs, he would just suddenly become the best mid in Europe every time. And now he doesn't. And then I was thinking, this could be fine, because maybe at MSI, you know, he'll come back. He'll come back, alright? And he didn't. He didn't, he ran it, and I insist BLG lose game 4 if he didn't, he was like, what, frontlining with Aurelion Sol? Like, I don't fucking know why you'd come in from that angle ever, alright? Like, I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know. And there are just some mind-blowing decisions this guy, like, okay. The reason Jankos was so necessary, like so necessary, Genji game for you. The reason Jankos was so necessary for G2 to function is because the thing Jankos does really well is he plays very reactively around what his laners do. And if Caps is on your team, you must have the ability to play reactively around your laners. Because that guy will not stick to the plan. That guy will just he chooses the worst times to just blow things up randomly. Generally until it got to playoffs. He'll just randomly choose the worst time to blow things up. And Jankos will be like, I'm just gonna drop everything and do this. I'll be the dog, right? And Yike is actually trying to play jungle, right? So this pairing isn't working out so well, you know? Pair Yike with Larson, it's Kino, right? You know? Yike with Caps right now is like sometimes he's fighting his own mid, you know? And Jankos is the king at fighting his own team. Jankos best... If I describe Jankos accurately, Jankos is the best jungler at fighting his own team. Jankos can beat his own team when he needs to beat his own team. And my god, does he have to fight his own team a lot right now, which is why he looks so good, right? Because he's playing reactively around the worst lanes. You know? Like, oh my god. Which is why I really liked Jankos on that team, because I figured it would need someone like that. Now all the worst issues of Caps are occurring, and he's not able to get past it. And I can't rate MS tier. I can't rate MS plus. And this is a massive drop. Because we had him on Cobra Kai tier before, I'm pretty sure. So this is probably like the biggest drop ever, alright? He fell off, alright? You want to talk about someone else who wasn't stepping up in playoffs the way that we wanted? But coming at it the other way?
Oh, we'll get to perks. Oh, you best believe we'll get to perks. But leader, buddy, I saw those Silas games. If you go way back to like 2018, 2019, right? The first mention of leader in a mainstream anything was me on Loco Doco's show once, right? It's really funny because if you're able to find that VOD, he actually spells it leader in the timestamp with Leader. Because, like, that's how random leader was at that point. And I was answering the question of, is there any ERL player right now who would be the next Caps? And he thought it was Magic Felix, and I said it can only be leader. Leader, you are officially as good as Caps now. Congratulations. Now, granted, Caps has massively fallen off. But you've made it. You've fucking made it, and I am a god. That is a prediction 4 or 5 years in the making right there. 4 or 5 years in the making. Good shit, buddy. You didn't have to learn mages for it, but you know what? Caps forgot how to play them, so we're all good. But I will say right now, if I had to choose between having leader or Caps on my team, it is what it is. I choose leader every time now. I choose leader every time. Because the entirety of mid-game and late-game is just dominated by leader's ability to play side lanes and rotate sides really well. All you have to do there is actually fucking coach jungle support around it, actually coach basic openings and basic vision setups, and Astralis are unbeatable when they get mid-late game. And leader gives so much of that value. And we went over that in the MVP thing. And we'll do a broad, like, if Astralis show that shit this weekend, we'll do a VOD review about it, because it's very unique how they play 2-lane setups. So every time right now I choose leader instead of Caps. That is true. But, buddy, you have to learn mages. And then you'll just be better straight up. Which leaves this. You notice there's a hole going on here, right? You notice there's like a gap between these two and this guy. And if you know me, you know who's filling this hole. I wish it was New Duck. First off, to all of the Year of the Duck guys, okay? I am not impressed if you give a North American team a tower. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. If these guys kill the Nexus, no one would disagree with this ranking of humanoid. If Fnatic killed that Nexus, not a single human being, not a single one, ever even vaguely disagrees with this. But it's a universal truth that everybody has amnesia when it comes to everything that isn't just the top 4 playoffs, right? Everyone has amnesia about it. It's true, straight up, alright? Humanoid's insane. And now we must address the biggest question. Alright? There's no way Humanoid's better than Caps? You did not watch Caps play. Okay. I love you, but you're a Gragas one-trick at this point. And there are points at which... I mean, I just can't. I just can't put Niski higher than this. I can't put Niski higher than this. None of these mids are terrible, Caps falling off so hard has been very noticeable. But none of these mids are bad. They're all really fucking good. I'm only talking about A tier here. There are bad mids in the next tier. I'm only talking about A tier here. But this finishes off the upper tier, right? These are the top 5 straight up. Now, wait, do I even want to move any of these guys down? Wait, do I even want to move any of you down? Certus could honestly end up moving up, is the thing. But I don't think any of these guys are significantly worse than each other. But none of them are as good as the upper guys. That's the thing, right? Nuclear Int is not A tier, and you're high if you think so. We do not do minuses, and we do not do pluses. Caps didn't... Wait, what? Caps did not... Caps ran MSI. Stop! If you think Caps look better at MSI, you did not watch MSI. That's all you're telling me. You did not watch. You did not watch MSI. You did not watch MSI. You did not do it. Is Magia feeling... Are you a time traveler? Oh, I like that. I like the guy who said Certus B and everyone else in C. Oh. That's interesting. I can defend this really easily. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, this is... So, Certus is one of the most underrated mids. He's not as good as Leader. He's not as good as Caps. He's not as good as Niski. He's not as good as the other guys. Niski, by the way, is basically a value guy. Like, this guy brings more value to his team than most other mids do. Leader brings similar value, but Leader brings that from just, like, being a tank 1v1. Well, I can't say being a tank. Niski plays a tank. So you fucking know what I mean, okay? Certus evolved from, okay, if you give this guy something like Arya's Ear, he can clear mid and he will try his best to carry other lanes like a Niski Light, to, okay, this guy's laning is actually getting really good on these champions, to, this guy's team fighting has suddenly gone, like, really good. He's not doing it on a broad amount of champions, but there are so many games where he looks like the best fucking player on the team, you know? Like, straight up. Put them in order within C tier? No, there's no order within these. There's no order within these. If there was order within these, then there's no point doing a fucking tier list. Cheers, I'm Clown. Feel free to disagree with one of these, and I will be retweeting you at the end of the split. I guarantee it. I absolutely guarantee it. Yeah, this guy plays like 3 champions, and he doesn't even consistently win lane on all of them. I think Abadage has the potential to be a lot better, but based on what I've seen, I can't do that. Right? Mostly he was just playing lanes that neutralize. I don't know, man. Like, this guy's late to every fight. Like, this guy's late to every fight, and this guy fell off massively. And I really don't understand the people who will continue to, like, hardcore defend perks. I don't think anyone here is, like, truly bad, but... yeah, I'm actually quite comfortable with this. And I'm just gonna have to add in the tweet. I choose to remind you at this point that, like, there is no order within the tier list. Ads are playing in a few secs, by the way. I can't prevent them. Bezos demands it. Someone thinks Yike should be in the same tier as Oyo. Interesting.
Okay, we're actually making good on time, so doing the tier list early is actually good. Alright. Did I already say this one? I mean, I've put it in all caps, but people are still not gonna read it. So, wherever. I also just want to say, ratings in general are kind of fiction. But yeah, I mean, because a lot of performance is gonna come down to how they develop within the structure of their team. But still, right? Like, that's why tiers are better than anything, right? Because a lot of this is then going to fluctuate based on how the entire team plays around their strengths and weaknesses, which is why, like, doing it as a numbered list makes no sense to me. Genuinely makes no sense to me. Alright. Which I tried to argue with Dom about before doing that one numbered list ages ago. I just want to say, that list has aged beautifully, by the way. That shit has aged so well. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Oh, this is always my favorite one. Because everybody keeps doubling down on the worst narratives. So this one's always my favorite one. Can we do a review of my last list for this? Wait, we need to do a review of my last list. This was by far my most controversial one last time. There's like 15, 28, 39. Wait, I'll just click here. And then 70 responses on this one. Like, this one was by far the most controversial list I had last time, right? It's because of these two being this high up. Guess what the finals were, motherfuckers? Guess what the finals were, motherfuckers? Guess what the finals fucking were? In a bot lane centric meta. My god, I had fun that day. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. I had so much fun. Oh my god, I had so much fun. I came straight back to this list the moment the finals were locked. The moment Kazi blew up Upset's Nexus, I came straight back to this list, man. Straight back to it. Straight back to this list. Oh, man. Dude. Oh, wait, not you. Fuck off. Well, still. I got you pretty accurate. Fuck me, I came straight back to this list. Straight back to this list, man. Oh my days. This is one of my favorite lists I ever did, just because of how much fun I got to have afterwards. You're a social league than me that I have to trust you with Kazi. I hope I made this guy money. I hope this guy made bets based on it. I know there were people in my Discord who made bets on Mad Lion's placement based on the lists and stuff, right? I know there were people who did and people who made money off of it. One of his Kazi thirds who played like a liability 6 games in a row. I get fucked, motherfuckers! I also remember on this list, when I had Kazi as S tier, so many people were sending me VODs where they were saying that Kazi was inting in those VODs. And every time we watched the VOD, Kazi was doing fine. Like, Kazi was winning. Like, every lane. Like, Kazi and Crowley were winning every lane against every person I had below them here. They won every single lane.
Like, it was so delusional. But there's always some insane levels of delusion when it comes to these. Anyway, the duck is always Cobra Kai never dies because Flackid is back. Flackid is back, so we have to, like, the duck is also getting rated. Does he do duck picks still? I don't know. If he doesn't, he should do them again, alright? Because that's basically everything I remember about Flackid, alright? First off, the single best game that an AD carry played in Europe last split was Hansama's Game 4 against Mad Lions. That was the single best game any AD carry played last split. End of story. Alright, he had the highest peak. Oh. And whereas I had Kazi S tier last time, that's not going to be the case this time. I'm going to tell you this right now. Alright? There will be some controversies. What's up, guys? There will be some controversies. Alright? There will be some guys rated pretty obscenely high. And if they're not able to perform to like a top 4 level, which is what I think they can do this split, I'm going to rip both 113 and Leader Scrotums out because they have to have inted for this to be the case. Which is definitely not a hint. Alright? I'm actually really confident about the top 3 here. I'm actually really confident about the top 3 here. I've had the top 3 set in my head pretty much the instant that the split ended. Pretty much the instant that the split ended. I saw... Yeah, I know Kesha is actually watching, and I actually told him ages ago who I think the top 3 is. So, like, people can, like, there are witnesses who can confirm that this has basically been the same for ages. And all of you are getting it wrong. Because the Kazi call was definitely the best call I made last split, but that does not mean that I'm just gonna double down and call Kazi top 2 again. And I don't think Kazi would disagree with the rating I'm gonna give him, right? Bear in mind, it's all relative. It's not that I'm saying Kazi dropped off. It's that 2 other guys got so much better, right? So, alright, here we go. Alright, here we go, okay? Because this is a lock. We're locking this. We're locking this, okay? We're fucking locking this. Alright, we're fucking locking it, alright? Boom. 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 We're locking this. These are the best 3. These are the best. Straight up. Kobbe had such an obscenely insane split. Crown the S+, yes. Seems too soon for how you normally get S+, no. Because he also had the splits on Vitality where I rated him really highly. He's had other splits in LEC before where I rated him highly. I've always rated Crowny quite high. Oh, right, yeah, reject here. Wait, sorry. Boom, boom. Neither of you deserve to be fired. Rip, 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 rip. They are high. I have no idea why Jack got fired. Apparently the LEC cast thought Jack Spectre was bad. They can get fucked. Dagda, you know I like you. You know I like you. But I saw that Euphoria segment where you managed to somehow get Flackid and Jack Spectre confused, brother. You got them, like, the opposite way around. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened there. But okay. Whatever. I don't know. Boom. Alright. A tier for me feels easy. And I'm realizing that both French and Spanish people will hate me again, actually. Holy shit. Actually, they're both gonna hate me again. Oh my god, man. How much do these guys really like Exakick and Flackid? Compared to Kobbe, no.
Again, it's a comparative thing. Kobbe and Crowny have improved so much, rather than Kazi got worse, right? Being meta-dependent does not get you higher on my tier lists. Oh, right, I forgot about the Adam thing. Yeah, wherever, fuck it. We've already fucked it up, so we may as well commit. This is probably... Actually. Do I expand? Yeah, this is probably accurate. This is probably accurate. I don't think I can in good conscience rate extra kick higher. I really want Patrick to do better, man. I really want Patrick to do better, man. This guy was, at one point last year, the best in Europe. This guy was, at one point, the best in Europe, man. I really want him to do better. If Prince just camps bot, I'm good. Please. Just give this guy some confidence again. Where do I stand on the Noah hype? I think Noah's better than Bao. I just lost all the Turkish fans by saying that. Peach, wherever. It's P and they're like, it's Peach. Alright, you fucking know, okay? It's less about upset same tier as Kazi, and it's that upset isn't meaningfully hardcore lower. It's more that I can't put upset equally with all these guys, who share similar issues with upset and less upsides. So Noah is a very conservative player, where I feel like the best case scenario he can be is an upset V2, which to other people is going to sound like he's going to be insane, but I'm saying that he could be an A-tier player, but I never see him being like Hansama, Crowny, Kobbe, right? I see Kazi potentially moving up, but I don't see like Noah moving up, right? Upset didn't do anything remarkable in playoffs, no. There's like the most remarkable thing he did was demonstrate quite clearly that he cannot play Aphelios. That's the most remarkable thing Upset did. I also want to say on the Kobbe thing, I mean, this is something we haven't talked about, right? But like, alright, I know none of you watch my ERL streams. I am aware, okay? None of you watch my ERL streams. I am aware, okay? What was the biggest change to bot lane? What was actually the biggest change to bot lane, alright? Okay, waves is the second biggest change, alright? But it does matter. Alright, I'm gonna remind you guys of something that very few people are taking into account here. Okay? Very few people, alright? Why is this number significant? Navisa got it. Navisa got it. Alright, currently, a BG back is 1/100.
An NQ is 1-3, right? An LC is now 1-100. Previously, an LC could only match Doomquiver. It could not match a Berserker's Greaves back, so you will always have obscene dueling potential. When does any AP champion on bot lane, when does any AP champ on bot lane come online? At LC. With LC. Now, what's happening on 13-12 that's going to get added to all of this? What's happening on 13-12 that's going to get added to everything I just said? Enchanters are done. If Astralis make it to the next stage, who is the most powerful bot laner on my screen? Who is the most powerful bot laner on my screen? Well, it's Flakkid's Duck, but other than Flakkid's Duck, who's the one that's legally allowed to play? You're all you're all stupid. It's Kobbe. You're like, so many of you are dumb. Everyone who said Kobbe, give yourself a gold star. Give yourself a gold star. Someone wing them a free sub. Unforgiven is broken. I'm literally like spamming his coaches to force him to play Karthus to prove a point, alright? Because that is a champion that can work well in the Enchanter metas as well, right? But the moment that engage metas are added to all of this, right? It's over, alright? Kobbe becomes king, right? Now, wait, we're not done. We're not done, alright? Because he plays, okay? He plays Vel'Koz, he plays Veigar, right? He plays like whatever fucking, like a lot of AP shit, right? Okay? Wait, we're not done, right? We're not done, alright? Okay, we're not done, okay? Why is this so good? Right? Right? Why am I ignoring Kazi and shit? Why am I ignoring all the others, guys? Okay? Because this guy's solo laners are fucking leader. And fucking thin. Fucking Irelia. Fucking the double Ys, right? Fucking Kled. Also Irelia. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's perfect. Like, it's actually perfect. Like, it's actually perfect. If they make it, if Astralis make it to 13-12, they go worlds. Unless they just run it down. They go worlds, man. Like, they go worlds. So, Enchanters are still going to be dead. No way the coaches understand. The coach doesn't have to. Leader just has to be like, Kobbe, go play mage, alright? Lock me Yone, lock me Asuro, lock me Zed, lock me Irelia. Finn has to be like, Clud, and they'll win. That's it. That's it. They win. Make it to the next stage. That's all they have to do. They make it to the next stage and they are perfect. They are the perfect team for the next stage. They're the perfect team. Who else is better? Like, no one else is more perfectly situated than these guys. They just have to make it to the next stage. I'm looking at it as this. They just have to make it to the next stage. Like, it's so one. It's actually so one. Don't tell me it's not one. If you tell me it's not one, you're delusional. You're delusional. You're delusional. You're delusional. Oh, man. It's one. Fucking clip it. Mark it. Wherever the fuck you want with it. Alright? Because it's one. Kobbe and Clowney's rise. Clowney is contesting for outright best. If Astralis make it to the next stage, Kobbe will enable the entire team with his A people. Kazi did not get worse. Other players just got better. Oh wow. I'll just say Kobbe will enable the entire team. There you go. Other players just got better. Instead. There you go. Kobbe will legit enable the whole team, man. Kobbe will legit enable the whole team. It's actually mental, man. Like, it's so beautiful, no? We have 15 minutes left for support. We have never had this before. We have actually never had this before. We have actually never had it. Again, Noah, very conservative player, but a very safe player to have. I think the best, I love you, Advian, but I think they won out on the trade by getting Trimby over Advian, right? Well, this one's gonna get quite easy, quite fast. No one got fired, yeah. No one got fired. Okay, wait, before I do this, I'm just gonna thank a bunch of people for following. Because I've got a lot of followers in the last couple of hours, so... Zindectio, Forwetch, Lo Mafioso, Kazuch, Servalarian, Luxuria, Nangle, Erenkinder, Yorgeolid, Piero XD 283628, Miahoy Minoi, Exic underscore Youyube. It's Youyube, not YouTube, I don't know why. Chicken Dipper 123, Cowie 8, Leheydenil on... Wait, wow. Hon Oi Rocketsuni. SO underscore 015, Gianlupo 777, Frozen EMP2, Raymond Reddington 999, thanks for the follows. Okay. Lol. I mean, any complaints? Boom. Any complaints? I don't think so. ARS. Honestly, I mean, his Nami ended up becoming good. Like, his Nami ended up becoming good. I mean, honestly, it did. Next tier gets harder. Maybe I wonder if, like, doing this doesn't make it easier. Doing this might make it easier, actually. Brother's getting patched out soon. Well, I mean, you're lower than Trimby. You're lower. Alright. Something about this doesn't feel right. I don't do this, do I? Oh, maybe I do this. Why does it feel so long to put Trimby in A tier? Like, it feels wrong. I don't know. I feel like there's a bigger gap here. I mean, this might be accurate. If I do something like this. I mean, I think Trimby last split was better than the split before, by the way, to be clear. I think the split before last, Trimby didn't look so good to me. Last split, Trimby was alright. Every time people flamed the Kazi lane, it was Hilly inting. It was. But there are still loads of things Hilly is ridiculously good at. So I'm comfortable keeping him up here and not dropping him onto the... Like, I mean, I'm sorry, right? It is true, Hilly was not doing so well in lane, but let's be real. Are we going to say it's because these guys were monster smurfing on Hilly? Or are we going to say that Hilly was monster smurfing on himself? It's Feckin' Brad, thank you for the follow. Like, let's be real here. Like, let's be real here. Right? Who was beating Hilly? Jonghoon, Mercer, Advian, Kaiser, DOS, Limit, or Hillisang? You know? I thought order on the tiers didn't matter. They don't. What did I say that implied that they do? If he's making mistakes that still makes him worse, I agree, but there are loads of positives he brings that these guys don't. I wouldn't put Yonghoon in C. The guy has... Did I... Oh, shit. No. Okay. Oh, that was close. Word Powers and Targaby? I'd start Powers in A tier easily. But I would not be surprised if I rated him S by the end of the year. The only guy I've ever insta-put in S was Targamas. Maybe I would put Powys in S. He'd minimum be A, potentially S. Targamas would be minimum A, potentially S. They're both minimum A, potentially S. Like, honestly, if they both played... You know what? If both played now, I'd be really tempted to just widen S tier with both Targamas and Powys. I ain't even joking. Word Raxo B? Probably A, maybe B. It would depend because, like, the thing with Raxo is he plays map extremely well. He finds engage angles really well. Within teamfights, though, when it comes to playing reactively, he's not as good as the other guys on A tier, right? I'm more or less comfortable with this. Like, every year, people just complain about the upset ranking. I have never had cause to, like, doubt my ADC rankings. Like, I don't get it. Like, how many years are we gonna fucking... Are we gonna do this? Like, how many years are we gonna do this, man? Like, how many years are we gonna do this with my ADC tier list? I don't get it. I think I'm honestly comfortable with this. There isn't too much to talk about here. I mean, is there any questions people have about this list? I feel like it's really obvious, no? The Hillisang one's the only one that I think needs to be explained. Alright. We're smacking this last one in and then we're doing the live viewing. Well, actually, maybe we do a teams tier list. I insist that BDS is basically Shio, Crowley, Lavrov. Smurfing lane. Smurfing openings on resets. Smurfing vision. Basically smurfing every fundamental. Mickey X's end stage Lavrov. FNC won the Trimby Advian trade. IMO. That's not controversial, right? No one denies that Fnatic won that trade, right? Hey Padua, what's up? No one can deny that wherever Team Upset joined, it felt like a huge upgrade. I can deny that, because the last time Vitality got first in anything was when Neon was on it. Remember when Upset joined Origin and it became a 10th place team? There are actually loads of counter-examples to what you just said. So I don't know about that one. What happened to the mid lane tier list? The mid lane tier list is on point. Okay, I don't think the mid lane tier list should be controversial. Was Humanoid done this year to justify S? Fisted lane, fisted teamfights, fisted in general? He was the best teamfighting mid laner, for sure. Oh, we're just doing the exact same Humanoid Razork dance again. Gotcha. Okay. We're doing the exact same dance again. Alright. Okay, fine. I'm happy to do that dance again. And then everybody will be like, holy shit, I underrated Humanoid. And then when the next tier list happens, they'll forget that they said that. It's all good. Nice, Dopey McDopes. Nice. That puts him below Larson. Because Larson literally never put a foot wrong.